This weekend, we spent our time with Pokemon Legends Z to A. Find out what Josh and I think after some very early impressions, at least from me. I don't know about Josh over the weekend. But looking forward to talking about it, as well as the Pokemon leaks. Seems to be an annual thing at the moment. So let's jump on in. G'day everybody and welcome to the House of Mario, the South Australian Nintendo podcast that is backed by a 120 Power Star rating. I'm your host Drew Agnew and the doors to episode 334 are open. Really excited as I get to sit down with my good mate Josh, or JT if you like. And of course I like. JT, how you going, mate?
Hello Drew, hello everyone. Doing pretty well, thank you. I've spent a lot of time playing Legends ZA over the last few days. Not a lot of games I get to sort of like want to play as much as I have with Legends ZA. So like really enjoying it. Really excited to talk about it. We'll get into it.
Yeah, it's once in I guess a rotation of the earth we get to play a new Pokemon game. So the time is now in October, and yeah, I'm looking forward to talking about it as well. There's been lots of interesting just Pokemon discussions over, I guess, the last week, which it's always interesting to just find out a little bit more information about the inside workings of GameFreak and all that too. I don't know how those leaks came about. Do you actually know how they come about? Obviously, somebody did something a bit nefarious, which isn't a good thing. But is it the same thing as last time? Because last year it was like a phishing attack, wasn't it? Like somebody clicked on an email they might not have had permission to or something. Like, I don't know if it's the same thing here or what's happened.
Yeah, I don't know. We were talking about it because we had a game chat session Friday, didn't we? And we're like, well, didn't PAX last year this same thing happen with Pokemon? And you know, PAX had just gone, and lo and behold, same time of year, like another big leak. So yeah, their mandatory training in phishing activities and not clicking on the emails is not doing well enough there at Game Freak and the Pokemon Company. So get back on the training, guys, and learn how not to click on malicious emails. That's what I'm thinking.
I can imagine management over at Game Freak just like another team meeting. You know, they're just like on the whiteboard. It's like, how many friggin' times do we have to tell you guys not to click on suspicious stuff? And the guy's like, man, it was a good deal. Like it was like 4 months of Amazon Prime for free. How could I give that up? How many audiobooks do I get for free, you know?
Yeah, but this is massive. This one's huge. And like the whole roadmap of what we're going to get for the next 4 or 5 years is laid out in front of us. And that Centro Leaks Twitter page added again. And they're even saying they were getting Pokemon Company emails directly to them, which I don't know if it's true or not. I haven't looked into it enough. But
I believe
it. Yeah. I mean, they'll probably want him to stop it, but there will be some litigious activity happening soon, I'm sure. Don't worry about that.
Oh, I think it already, or maybe not legal, but images are definitely getting taken down because last night I hadn't looked into it properly, apart from like some headlines and some like quick readings just of articles, but I actually properly sat down to maybe check some stuff out for the podcast tonight. And Centro Leaks, I can't find anything on their Twitter. It feels like they've been hit. Okay. I couldn't see anything on their Twitter.
Yes.
And a lot of sites that have shared like pictures and things. It says now like picture could not be displayed because of X reason, some copyright thing. So the Pokemon companies come out and really put their foot down. And even do I have the article up here? I don't know if I do. No, I don't. But the Pokemon companies actually like asked people not to share them, so they've kind of made it
confirmed. It's real.
Yeah, they've confirmed it pretty much. So obviously plans can change because was it 2 years ago? Like Xbox during the Activision sort of trials, like as they were trying to fight the FCC. Just all of the leaks that came out about next generation hardware, the controllers, roadmap for Bethesda games, like so much stuff come out. And a lot of that actually hasn't even happened yet. So Like, plans change, obviously, I guess on the Xbox side of
Mm.
things, plans definitely changed over there.
Oh, definitely.
So yeah,
Yep.
same thing can happen with Pokemon too. But yeah, I'm looking forward to talking to you about that because I think it's just interesting from a company we don't get to see anything behind the scenes of. It's a shame that we got to see it this way, where it is like, they are the victims, but it's out there. It's in headlines. IGN and big websites are reporting it. So I guess it's a fair game in some way. Yeah.
Yeah, it was exciting, but then I had the same thought, like, do I really want to see all this stuff? It's kind of gets ruined for me now, and we saw it with the Wolverine, all the leaks that got, and
Yeah.
it didn't feel as special when we saw it first time properly in the latest state of play. So, um, you know, come Pokemon Presents Day in Feb, we're all going to know Gen 10 is going to get announced, and I mean that was a given. That was pretty much a given thing anyway. But
Mm.
I think I've even seen the starter Pokemon allegedly
Oh,
from the
really?
leak.
Oh, interesting. I haven't seen
I
that.
don't know if this is real or not, but I saw something on Instagram, so it might not be right or not. But yeah, we will, and the other games that are coming up, we know a bit more about already. So yeah, it's just not going to be as fun. That's all.
Yeah, I feel like that's probably the thing you really don't want spoiled is like the actual Pokemon themselves. Even in the marketing material that Nintendo and Pokemon Company put out, you really sort of just want to discover them in the game. That's like most of the fun of a brand new Pokemon game is just running around and saying, "What is that?" and going up and battling it and trying to catch it.
Yeah, yeah,
That's where like a lot of my enjoyment came from Scarlet and Violet. Just obviously very frustrating games, but first time playing through them, really cool. Just sort of looking off in the distance, and when it pops into frame, literally, you can oh, what is that? Like it's just like a tumbleweed. That's a Pokemon. There you go. Like
yeah.
even something
That's it.
silly like that. It's
Yep.
a lot of fun. So yeah. So yes, we'll be talking about that. And I'm keen to get into some Legends EA talk, Josh. But before that, let's do some housekeeping. So if you want to check out the show, of course, you can go to youtube.com, watch us live, much like Dolphin Pants is right now. Dolphin Pants, how you going? Hope you're having a
Hello.
bloody good day. We do have questions from you in the Letterbox channel in the Discord, so we'll hear from you later, no doubt. And if you want to check us out on the podcast services after the fact, and I don't blame you. I like listening to my podcasts on my own time as well. So check us out on podcast services, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Pocket Casts, whatever goddamn RSS feed you like to slap onto your phone and get us delivered to you hot off the press. Doesn't matter to us, but it's good to have us there, no doubt. And Josh, Nintendo Maniacs, brand new episode last week. Yeah, it was last week. The time goes quick. But tell us what it's all about. You had somebody actually in your house and they didn't vandalize the place.
No, they actually returned property that I gave them a couple of years ago. So, Jacob, aka Mr. A Game, he guested on the latest episode of Nintendo Maniacs, and that was really fun. We had a really good time in person. Just something slightly different about having someone in person when you record with them. So, check that out for some good laughs. We talk about Super Mario Galaxy 1 and 2, and plenty of other things. So yeah, check it out, Nintendo Maniacs.
Nintendo Maniacs. Go and check it out, of course. So, Josh, let's talk about the Pokemon game that isn't, 4 or 5 years away. It's out right now. It came out last Thursday, Pokemon Legends ZA. And you've definitely got more time than me. I haven't been actually able to play since we last talked. I feel like I had a very dad weekend. Saturday was like all day was outside in the yard, doing mowing the lawn, weeding, all of that type of thing. And all my spare time was setting up my brand new monitor and my desk. I took it all apart, and it was all worth it though. I've got a brand new OLED monitor, so no doubt I'll be playing Switch 2 and PS5 and PC on this thing. I'm really looking forward to it. You look really nice and colourful at the moment. Getting to see you right in front of me. It's quite nice having this extra screen real estate. But yeah. So I've only played an hour and a half. I'm like in the tutorial. So like, what I have to say really isn't much. But Josh, you were talking, was it on the weekend or Friday night? Like you were just really enjoying the game, which was nice to hear. Nice to hear you're really liking it. But hopefully it hasn't, I guess, changed since then. Those positive thoughts. But where are you at the moment, and what are you thinking of the latest game from the freakish game developers called GameFreak?
Yeah. So yeah, this is it's so weird playing this now because we're kind of like it's been nearly 2 years of us hearing about it and leading up to it and slow updates and the slow burn to it. So bit odd that we're here now, but yeah, I'm just really loving this get different new take on the battling, the real time battle mechanics. Reminds me a lot of Xenoblade with how that works, and I think it really sort of adds a great fresh take on Pokemon, and especially the battling, which can be, sometimes, it's sort of taken for granted, but to hear it's like really sort of front and center, especially compared to the first Arceus Legends game, and super fun. Like the real time cooldown. It's not just selecting the moves with the cooldown; it's whether you want to select a move that brings you close to the enemy Pokemon, or it's one that sort of will project something from a distance. So you've got to think about all these things now, and if 3 or 4 moves are used and there's Tail Whip that can be used and nothing else, like hell yeah, you can use your Tail Whip where you never really would before, not playing competitively with those status type moves. If you're just doing a normal playthrough of a Pokemon game, you never use those moves, and so um, it's yeah really different and fresh. And yeah, I'm just sort of enjoying switching around the different move sets. There's no sort of hampering down in terms of like you can keep taking in and out the move sets that you want, and some really good functionality there in terms of what you want to get your Pokemon sort of like looking like and battling like strategically. So um, that's super fun. So I'm really enjoying that. I think the story's fairly good for a Pokemon game so far. I will say, like, I'm kind of at the stage now where, like, it's just looking a little awkward, a little, like, embarrassing that there's no voice acting to this kind of thing. Like, I know they need to, like, take a first small step. They need to do something in the next game or something because, Tears of the Kingdom do it really well. Like, it's not like it's every word gets voice acted, but they do, like, the key moments and that sort of adds so much sort of gravitas to the game. So, um, yeah, it's just at that stage now. It's just something's got to a bit more. Give us a bit more Nintendo and Pokemon Company here with what we get out of it. I think the Switch 2 version runs really well, really stable 60 frames, so that's really great to see. I've heard the Switch 1 version's obviously a bit of a downgrade. I haven't heard too many bad things, but obviously it is what you would expect it to be with the Switch version in terms of quality. But I'm not as taken aback by the soulless windows. You know, I do wish it was a bit more open in terms of like a bigger area with like I think the Lumio City can and does limit the feel of the game at times. Um, but the way they counter that with there's lots to sort of collect and destroy with the shards and a lot of side missions. I'm kind of like I feel like I'm kind of getting lost still, kind of wandering around and exploring the place, and so um, I'm trying to sort of channel all that hatred online because I'm like I'm actually really having a good time here, and sort of nice to sort of get back into a proper Pokemon game because we haven't had one in 3 years, and this is like we've had a few spin-offs in between, but nothing really as meaty or as enjoyable as this. So, um, yeah, I really love this Legends series where they're sort of changing and sort of experimenting with different gameplay mechanics, and yeah, I would love to see them in the third one, which we know is going based on another region. Take the big openness of Arceus with the battling of ZA here, and they could, hoping the third entry here can kind of be a really good all-rounded Legends game that can really please a lot of people.
Mm. Yeah, because I haven't got to the point yet where you're able to have free roam in the city or anything like that. So yeah, I'm still at the stage where I've got like a lot of questions I want answered. Just like, is it fun to explore the city compared to? Because I had a
Yeah,
ball in Legends Arceus exploring those big areas, and I had so much fun. And typically in games, I prefer to explore fields and forests and areas like that rather than a city. So, especially like with, I guess with Game Freak in some ways, how it's like, can they create I guess, a believable city environment? Because that takes like a lot of people and all of that to be on screen at once, and that's not typically what Pokemon does. Have a lot of things going on,
Correct.
and just from what I've experienced, it's like there's like a man in a cipher just standing there. You're like, all right. So you go up to him. It's like, oh, I'm cutting the hedges and I'm making sure to be safe. But it's like, no, you're not. It is very much just like Pokemon Red and Blue, where you just have the NPCs just standing there and you go up and talk to them. You might get an item, you might get a bit of world building, you might get a tip, and it's still very much like the same philosophy in this these like 3D games where they just stand there. There's no walk animation where they're doing like a loop or something. It is just like,
No.
we're a sign, deal with it.
Yeah, like I saw one girl chasing an Eevee or and a Clefairy. Like, oh my god, they're moving a bit. But
Oh,
yeah, you are right. There's a lot of standing still, um, not moving too much. So yes, yeah, I they could have done a few more things to make it a bit more better in the city. It is, yeah, a little soulless at times. I think is maybe the word.
yeah. So yeah, I'm not sure like whether that affects my time with it, but I'll find out. I'll put a bit more time into it. Well, a lot more time. I should be free. I've set my desk up. The backyard's right. So we should have some Pokemon time hopefully. But I think you're talking about like the voice acting, and look, I'm not going to get into it too much. I was thinking about it today because I am a jaded Pokemon fan. I don't want to. I'll be talking about the same bloody thing every time a goddamn Pokemon game comes out. But it's been a little while since I've played a Switch Pokemon game, for example. It's been a little while since Scarlet and Violet. So, booting this up on Switch 2, straight away there's like a cinematic cutscene happening. And straight away I'm like, just it just sticks out like a sore thumb, doesn't it? Just without the voice acting, and like you're reading just like text, and like makes a sound every single time you click on it.
Yeah.
And like their mouths are moving, and it's like it's so jarring. Like it is just so strange to have like a pretty nice looking cutscenes. I feel like in this game on Switch 2, obviously we're talking about the Switch 2 version. I feel like the models of the characters look really clean and crisp. The resolution looks nice. The frame rate is consistent at 60. It's
Great.
smooth. It's
Great.
It runs like a game, especially on Switch 2, brand new hardware. You would hope that it would run at. But for the most part, I feel like the game looks good. Like it looks good. Obviously, some environments, like obviously you're talking about like the houses and the buildings, that's a bit embarrassing. I'd be a bit embarrassed to maybe put that out if I was the Pokemon company. Like it's like let's 3Dify these windows a little bit. Like they just got like one ledge, and that's the only bit of texture on the building. Like that's it. But like especially like doors and things that are just there, and you walk up to them, and I don't know. I feel like obviously that point online is hammered home. So yeah, don't have to put it out there, but I was thinking about it today because I've been listening to a lot of K-pop Demon Hunters, Josh, as you know, and I've been finding a lot of covers online. Like there's covers of like post-hardcore. There's covers of, I found one which is like a 60s version, and it sounds like it was recorded back in the 60s. I'm like, there are so many covers.
Let's go.
And honestly, they don't have anybody in the video or anything like that. So I think they're all AI. Like, and AI is getting to the point now where they're creating really good songs that I'm liking, and I can't confirm that they're AI. But honestly, I feel like the point of when we're going to get voice acting for Pokemon games to save Game Freak's little budget is going to be when they use AI. I can tell you that now.
Man. Oh god. Yep.
Yeah, I feel like
Yeah. Stick to the budget.
yeah, yeah, because we'll talk about their budget later. I guess we can talk about it here. It's just um, like the with the big leak, the budgets of the games leaked, and grain of salt. Obviously, things could have changed and all of this, but the budget for Legends ZA was 13.1 million USD. And I guess anybody that pays attention to like other games and their budgets, obviously they're based in other parts of the world, like the US, a more expensive place to live and to hire staff and things like that. But $13 million is a laughably low amount for like a game. If Sony or somebody was to do a $13 million game, it would be like a very small experimental, just see if they get a hit, throw something at the wall, see if it sticks. If not, doesn't matter. It's kind of pennies to these these types of companies. Like I was listening to David Jaffe. He's the art director or the director of the original God of War, and he stayed at Sony for years afterwards, and they did a game called like Drawn to Death, and the budget for that game was honestly in the range between $10 and $20 million, and that was just like a small little experimental multiplayer game that they did on PS4. So the whole idea that they make these games for this little is just
It's unreal, isn't
is
it?
insane. I
Yeah.
will say just like the whole industry at the moment is suffering from just ballooning budgets, crazy dev time, all of this. So I mean, just from that point of view, just hats off to Game Freak. Well done for keeping the budgets like in scope, getting games out regularly, and so there is that side of it. The other side is just like there are obviously just so many concessions. People are asking for just the games to look like they came out in 2025, to have things like voice acting to bring the cutscenes to life. So there's things like that. So it is very frustrating when you just see how cheap these games are made. How cheap these games are made for, and it makes me feel like I am, as a Pokemon fan, really getting taken advantage of. Because $110 for this game. And just to clarify, I should have said this at the start. I usually want to, but I forget. But Josh and I were provided a review code by Nintendo Australia. So neither of us did buy the game.
Thank you.
But I would say if I would have bought the game, but I would have felt not great about it, to be honest. And just knowing how much how much they make it for, at least roughly. Yeah, it doesn't leave a great taste in my mouth because it's comically cheap. Like it seriously is. It's just like if any other company on earth would be like, Jesus Christ, like a Sony,
True. Yeah.
a Sony that makes The Last of
I
Us Part Two for $200 million in 2020, like when the game released, they would look at this and be like, "Fuck, get the sales of Pokemon and put what a 20th into it." Man,
Yeah, it's I think I read somewhere 200,000 copies only needed to be purchased for them to make their money back, and so something like that.
oh, they sell
Is what I think
25
I've read.
million. Like it is just,
And
it's
yeah, so
comical.
it's unreal, and not every company can do that because Pokemon's one of the largest IPs in the world, if not the largest, and they can get away with it. So it just they could do more. This is just further goes into the narrative. They could really spend more. They could really try and push the limits of technology a bit more, like with output on the Switch, or take a bit more time to sort of develop these games. So they don't need to churn these out as often as they do. So amazing. I just couldn't believe it. Those leaked numbers,
Insane, dude.
so different to The Last of Us Part Two, which I know is that's like extremely like expensive, cutting edge kind of
Mhm.
tools and technology being used. Voice acting and the whole motion capture of the actual actors' faces, everything. That's a huge cost to it. But yeah, like you knew they'd be having a good margin, but that's just next level good, and
The
so
margin's insane.
um, incredibly high. So that they could have a game absolutely bomb the hell out, and they would still make money on it, and it just wouldn't matter.
Yeah, because it was
Yeah.
like Remedy Games, like Control, the original Control game. That was like a $30 million budget, and that's considered really cheap for like a double A slash triple A. Well, probably not a triple A game, but one like a game that looks really nice, has a story, all of this type of stuff. So that's like a comically cheap, and like I guess the game of the year contender this year, Expedition 33, that was a $30 million budget for that game as well. So brand new IP, a massive risk, obviously quite nice, graphics, voice acting, the whole works into that game as well. So that's where my frustration comes from, because even with like a budget of 20 or 30 million dollars, and we get voice acting, we get buildings that look like it actually looks like a city and things like that, that the margins would still be astronomical. Like it would be crazy. So yeah, they are just really scratching like the bottom of the penny jar. Just like, all right, look, like where does the rest of that money go? It doesn't go into development. It just goes to the bigwigs, shareholders. Yeah, fuck, man. If you are a shareholder anywhere on planet Earth, be it the Pokemon Company, like Jesus Christ, like it's just insane. There's no risk factor whatsoever. Like it's just good for them, but for us that love
they're gonna make money.
for us that love Pokemon games, yeah, not great.
You just and it's just so different to the industry as well. We see so much, like that, like developers, going hard, feeling like they have to make it look as realistic as possible, and and then all these other factors of inflation, and then too many staff, all that kind of stuff. Those headwinds just result in bad things happening. It's just we can see why Nintendo is able to weather it so well, because Nintendo would be far off this as well. It'd be slightly, they spend more. I can definitely tell from the games we do get from them, but they wouldn't be far off this as well. So this is just testament to their strategy, and it works.
Well, that's the thing with Nintendo. Like, obviously, their games are not $100-200 million budgets. I got no idea what something like the Tears of the Kingdom would be, or a 3D Mario game, but like the Yoshi game coming out early next year, or Mario Tennis next year. They're obviously, relatively cheap games to make, but they're also not games where we look at them and play them and be like, man, like, Christ, put a bit more into it. Like, they are what they are. And, if you want a 2D platformer that looks nice, the Yoshi games and all of that usually, I guess, meet the mark. But yeah, it is Pokemon specifically where it's like, and maybe it wouldn't be such a big deal if the 3DS prices stuck. I feel that's where maybe some of the contention comes from as well, because us in here in Australia, $60 for, X and Y, Sun and Moon, the games on 3DS, whereas, they are like now it's $110. It is the same price as a Ghost of Yotei or, any other game coming out anywhere else. So, yeah. I guess just for the budget wise, this was interesting as well. Like the Scarlet and Violet DLC, $3.2 million for that DLC. Like,
yes,
if we went around a few banks and put up some assets and things, we could borrow that amount of money and fund the friggin' DLC, which is kind of crazy. And Generation 10, which we'll get into a little bit later, bit bigger budget, $19.6 million. So what is that extra?
Is that the budget? There you go. Yeah. That's a 30% jump from ZA to Gen 10. So that's good.
Yeah. So
big jump.
We'll see what they can do there. I am interested though, because like in Japan, like, wages and just like building utilities and all of that also will be far cheaper than in LA for someone like a Naughty Dog or, one of these American companies. So maybe they're just getting their stuff for real cheap as well. I don't know. Who knows how much that plays into it? But I do hope the staff are paid well, because if they're making these games, and I hope the money, like I hope they are getting good wages at Game Freak. Uh,
Wealth's getting shared. Yes. Yeah.
yeah, I just
I hope so. Yeah. They're in Kyoto, so not going to be as um, expensive as Tokyo and other factors like that. So, um, just managed it really well. But imagine, Drew, what sort of Pokemon game would we get with $100 million? Just think about it now and
Jesus.
how good it could look, how good it could be.
Yeah, because that would still make crazy money on that. That's the thing.
Correct.
Like just that's a good thought exercise actually, because I feel like Pokemon fans are looking at, like, Legends ZA, like Game Freak are really good at making fun gameplay mechanics. Like, I wouldn't argue their
Yep.
ability to make just fun games, and
Yeah, fun games. Yep.
and that's largely why people still play them, obviously. But a lot of people do look at the more recent games and be like, "What a joke! I'm not buying that." So I do wonder, like, would it be more beneficial to maybe treat the mainline series as a way to get more people in? Because it's like the games are an anchoring point for people to, like, play the games, get attached to the characters, start watching the TV show, get the cards, get some plushies. It's like an ever evolving thing. So I feel like even if they didn't make that much money off the games, it's still worth maybe even using it to bring people in to get addicted to all of the other things that Pokemon Company have going on. So yeah, that'll be interesting. Like, yeah, if they made $100 million Pokemon game, took 5 years to make it, similar to like a Zelda development cycle, yeah, would that be
How would it go?
would that be worth it for them? Like, people just look at this game like, oh my god, like, I'm familiar with Pokemon, but this game looks unreal, and all the things you can do, all the content in it, obviously, like, I guess more standardized graphic presentation, all of that thing. Like, yeah, that's
Whether it would be worth it. Yeah. I think they think the answer is no, and so that's why they never bothered, because people,
with their margins, I'd
a lot
say
of people
so.
grind it. They're in
Yeah,
it, and people are in it for life already now, no matter what they do.
because like a lot of people say like, oh, I'm not buying it. I want to vote with my wallet. How many people would have to vote with their wallet for a Pokemon company to, like, be worried? Because they've only got to, like you said, they've only got to sell 200,000 copies. So it's like, even if they sell 5 million, it's like, oh, not bad. That's a hell of a profit still.
We're fine. Still making money.
Yes,
But that's not how it works with shareholders.
no,
And so
of course not.
they're trying to make more money every time. So spending more money on a game does make sense from that point of view.
Yeah. So yes, capitalism, you've won. Well done. Well done. That's
Good.
yeah. It's just when I saw that dude, I was like, oh my god, like,
Yeah. Yeah. I couldn't believe it.
like there's a game, like some random games that you just play on Game Pass. I bet they cost more than $13 million, like, just from a small indie, well, not small indie team, but like a AAA studio, or sorry, a AA studio, a bit smaller game. So I bet a lot of them cost more than $13 million, and they're just hoping to God that some streamer plays it and it picks up. Yeah, crazy stuff.
That's right. Yep.
But yeah, Legends ZA. I guess we'll get back to that. But yeah, was there anything else you wanted to say about Legends ZA?
Yeah, I just lots to do and collect. I love Mega Evolution aspect here, and so really enjoying seeing the new Mega Evolutions take place. They've made it really easy to sort of get the stones to do the Mega Evolutions, so it's really sort of something they want you to do, and Yeah, some pretty cool designs. Also, some very bad ones. I don't know if you've seen the Starmie one, Drew.
No, I was watching a
Okay.
video and like they showed some footage of a mega raid, and I saw it for like 2 seconds. I'm like, what the fuck was that? Was that like a long-legged Starmie? And that's literally is that?
All it is,
I'm like, is that
it's just got long legs.
what the fuck? I saw it for literally 2 seconds, and it was just like running. I'm like, what the fuck was that?
Two of the five prongs are legs now, and it looks terrifying when it runs. But yeah, that's its Mega Evolution.
Yeah. It's like
Pretty fun.
Halucha, at least it got like a cool outfit. Like it just got an outfit. Like it
Yeah.
physically didn't change, but Starmie's like, yeah, what's up, bro?
Yep.
So just leg day.
Yeah. I haven't done the online competitive yet, but I want to do that soon. That'll be over the next few days. Yeah, I've just been doing the side missions in between the main stories. I'm having a really good time. It's fun.
How you finding the side missions? Because that's something in a Pokemon game I've always wanted, like side quests just to tick off and do. And the first Legends Arceus did a really good job of just like giving you tasks to do, always catching Pokemon, really filling out that Pokedex with different sort of things to do. And so yeah, the idea of like even doing basic side quests in a Pokemon game, I kind of I can see myself just grinding that out. So yeah, how are you finding them?
Yeah, it's similar. It's got a very yeah, some very basic ones all the way like to you usher a Pokemon somewhere, all the way to battling, all the way to show me five different variants of the Floettes flower Pokemon, whatever it's called. So you got to like spend a bit of time to do that and go through that stuff. And so yeah, it shows you some new mechanics, talks about a few different things you can do with battling, also with the other things within the game. So it's a good sort of way to sort of familiarize yourself and get better at it. So no, I just like doing it, ticking it away. Um, the day night cycle, I was trying to min max and do as many things as possible within each cycle, but kind of haven't really felt that need to sort of maximize it as much now. I'm kind of doing whatever I want to do now because it does open up a lot more the game from the point I'm at. And then um, yeah, I'm just enjoying, like there's alphas, which is sort of like shadow Pokemon from XD in a way. They're a bit more angry and they're a bit harder to catch. They're a bit bigger. They're cool to encounter. And then, yeah, it's just fun, man. Like, yeah, I'm trying to like channel out all the hate about the windows and the graphics. I think for me, at the end of the day, the basic core thing of it's a really good outing, and definitely want more from it, and they could do better, but having a good time here nonetheless.
Yeah, I feel like that's the hardest thing for me. Just like as a Pokemon fan and as somebody who's frustrated with previous games, and also somebody who's like we come to a podcast that we share with other people and we give our opinions and be critical and things we'd like to see, and like yes, like yes, the windows and all that look like trash. Yes, but is there a fun game there? Yes, and if those windows, like if they if they did up the budget to like what a massive $15 million and like that allocation was like purely for a team to put like ray tracing on all the windows and just go nuts with like all the different like building textures and things. It's like
Money well spent.
it's like how much enjoyment would that bring to what you're already doing? Like you're already really enjoying the game.
Yeah,
It's like
that really would make a
probably not all
difference.
that much. So it is one of those things where it's like it makes sense to be upset by it and like voice your frustration, but it's also like if you record yourself and listen to yourself back complaining about it, it's probably it's probably not. I don't know. It's probably not the thing to be so upset about. There's been other things this year that have upset me a little bit more.
Yeah, fair. Yeah, this would be lower on the list. I would have
Lower
thought.
on the
Yeah,
list. Lower on the list.
yeah,
But yeah,
yeah.
yes, no. I think for me, definitely, it's just like voice act the cutscenes. Doesn't have to be the whole thing. Like a lot of JRPGs, there's the cutscenes and the bigger moments that are voiced. But
Yeah.
then there's other bits where you are just clicking through text. It is the smaller moments when you're accepting like a side quest or something. Like in Tales, or not Tales, in Trails in the Sky, the remake. Like it's really fantastically voiced. But there are moments where it's not voiced because there is a lot of dialogue in an RPG. So, it makes sense not to voice the whole thing, but
don't need all of it.
yeah, like I'm quite happy I don't need voice acting the whole thing, but as the game's opening and something's happening, Mega Evolution is like infecting like Prism Tower and all of this stuff, it's like I probably would like the emotion and like the resonance behind the voices and the characters and bring it to life.
Add a bit of gravitas to it. Yes, correct.
Yeah. I think the only thing is just like Pokemon is available in so many languages. It's not just English, Japanese, Spanish, and call it a day. It is like over the last 10 years, they have done like a really great job of expanding it to like multiple versions of Chinese and like really expanding their reach with the languages that they touch. So that's probably a pretty daunting task, but it's Pokemon. Work it out. That's freaking. We're not talking about I don't know, like Expedition 33. Like, oh my god, how are we going to localize this game everywhere? And they worked it out. So Pokemon can work it out too.
They can. Yep.
Right.
It's that's right. They'll find a way.
They'll find a way.
AI, like you said.
AI, yeah. I bet it's AI. I bet it'll be on the cheap. That's for sure. And I don't know. If it was AI and AI did a great job, it's like, well, we got it. And the GameFreak got what they wanted. We got what we wanted. And all the very talented voice actors are out of work. So, I don't know. I'll just go without.
Oh, good.
I don't know. You can't win in this world anymore. There's got to be losers.
Can't.
And for some reason at the moment, it's the talented artists that are losing out first. I was seriously thinking about this at work because, as I said, I was listening to the AI music. And it's like, why isn't AI taking my job? I'm a sharer. Why can't it take my job? Like, for goodness sakes, take mine. Don't take the fucking artists and the bands and the people who paint and create digital art and music and stuff. Don't take that. That's what humanity is. Take the shit I don't want to do. Go and spray my crops and fucking shear my sheep and do all the bullshit I don't want to do. Don't take the entertainment first.
Oh, yeah, Drew.
It's crazy. It's freaking crazy, dude. And at the moment, like we through a subscription or something, we do have access to those tools. But what happens when the tools get locked down and it's like just accessible from big companies like Microsoft and Google, and they've got these really robust, powerful tools that can literally bring dreams to life in some ways, anything they want. And we're just at the beck and call of it. Don't like it. Don't know. I'm going to remember these days where I'm complaining about no voice acting in Pokemon and think, what a fucking good time. Is that what I was bitching about?
Days, wasn't it? That's right. Yeah.
October 19th, 2025. That was my biggest problem. Jesus Christ. Those were the days. Days.
Before Skynet takes over.
Yeah. Anyway. Talking about Skynet, I guess. The sky fell out the sky for GameFreak. So we got some information. And Dolphin Pants put in the chat early in the show. So thank you very much for this. Take your word for it. But they said so this is from the hack last year. So Dolphin Pants said they got hacked last year and they held on to the info until this year. So they had this last year from the last hack and they held on to it. And I guess they're like, time is now. So
why wait a year? I find that really interesting. Yeah.
I don't know. But
there you go.
All right. So what do we got here? So we got like a roadmap of video games. Obviously, we talked about the budgets. But I guess the most interesting thing is just those video games, Josh. So starting next year, 2026, Generation 10, which is I guess here it says Pokemon Wind and Pokemon Wave. So two different versions. And should I list them all out, or should we talk about them one by one? What would you like to do?
List them all out.
All right. Then 2027 or later, Pokemon Legends Galar, so based in the Galar region, from Pokemon Sword and Shield, which is interesting to see. I guess a region that new get the Legends treatment.
And only 2 years away as well.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, because
but makes me think it's going to be 28. If what Dolphin Pants has said is correct, that it was from a year ago, so plans could change, things get pushed back.
Yeah.
You reckon Legend ZA was always going to be this slot in 2025, and not maybe last year, or
yeah, it was meant to be last year. So yeah, Pokemon Legends ZA, and this I'm reading this from PokeOS.com. And they say that Pokemon Legends ZA was originally scheduled for release in late 2024 with a DLC plan for the second half of 2025. So yeah, it faced significant delays. So yeah, all of these can be delayed and changed. But it's interesting, even if they don't turn out to be real, if these are what GameFreak had in their servers, like what they were working on, cancelled or not, still just interesting to see them experiment and what they're sort of thinking about for the future. So there's Pokemon Scene, which is a multi-region remake, and some places were saying that like this was more of an MMO Pokemon game where you're playing with your friends and all of that. So I mean, if Pokemon likes money, the MMO has been sitting on the table for so long.
If they did that right, that'd be huge.
And I will tell you right now, I will live in that fucking MMO. If they make a good Pokemon MMO.
You will not leave. You will never leave that place.
Yeah. I honestly just feel like they haven't made an MMO because they're not allowed to put their games on PC. Like a Pokemon MMO on PC and Switch cross-play, that would just Game Freak just may as well just bring the money printer into their office. just print it themselves. Like,
well, they love money, so yeah, they should.
Like, yeah, wherever they print the yen in Japan, but look, we just print it here now, so you don't have to truck it. You don't have to truck it to our office. Pokemon Pokopia, so it was planned for 2025 with DLC in 2026, but we do know that it is coming out next year, so we know about that game now. And Pokemon Champions, which was, I guess, planned for this year, but that was delayed. So a lot of projects that we do know about have been delayed. I guess there's three games that were scheduled for this year, and they've all been delayed. So yeah, wouldn't expect. I wouldn't expect Gen 10 to be delayed from next year, but obviously these other ones potentially could be. And there was even information about a Generation 11 for 2030 as well. Which so they're already sort of sorry, Josh.
Planning, but they're planning, but probably nothing too big or tangible at that stage. I would have thought.
No, I think it was just literally like a handful of people.
Roadmap outline.
Yeah. There was something about a brand for I think it was Generation 11. We might get to it eventually when I scroll down this page. I should link this to you too, Josh, just so you follow along. That'll probably be a good idea. Paste it in there. Why is that going? Try my best here, Josh. I'm pressing the enter key. It's not going.
You're all good, mate.
Wasn't doing that. But yeah, it was about like there we go. Keyboard went off for some reason. It was about I think it was Generation 11 that there's a brand new engine that they've been working on. I think like the Pokemon X engine. So I read that and I go, the optimism flows in me a little bit, thinking that far away, new engine.
Yep.
But it doesn't matter how good your engine is if you're spending $13 million on it. Like it's just, it'll be what it will be if you want your budgets that small. But where should we start? I guess Generation 10. I guess that'll be the big one for next year. So I'll read this. It's Project Gaia. And what's interesting about that is there's a really famous Pokemon ROM hack called Pokemon Gaia, which I've actually got loaded up and I will play eventually. So it's kind of cool just to say that. But the quote here, or the article here, is like the long-awaited Pokemon Generation 10 titles are reportedly being set for release in the second half of 2026, with a DLC expansion planned for 2027. After months of speculation, it now seems that the official titles will indeed be Pokemon Wind and Pokemon Wave, names that were previously dismissed as mere fan theories. According to the newly surfaced internal documents, the original setting for Pokemon Wind and Wave was inspired by Indonesia and Southeast Asia. This contradicts earlier reports suggesting a Greek-based region, but multiple sources, including a well-known insider Ku, have confirmed that the Indonesia concept is the accurate one. So we've got information about the box legendaries. And I read through this. I didn't find it that interesting, but I'll read, I guess, what each one is described as. So the Storm legendary, known in early design notes as the Elder Guardian, lives alone on a remote storm-swept island. And whenever I read this, I just think of Lugia, by the way. Like, I know, like, Lugia's not the Storm Pokemon, but it just says the Storm Pokemon. So, yeah,
No.
I just think about
I get you. Yeah. Yeah.
Said to possess the power of wind, it guides humans and Pokemon alike towards the right path, but only accepts those who have probably nurtured in a certain seed Pokemon. Meanwhile, the Wave legendary, referred as the Elder... Now, what's this word? Manechich? Matarich? Anyway, resides on an island untouched by humankind, using the calm yet powerful force of the ocean. It also guides lost souls towards balance and understanding. Like its counterpart, it acknowledges only those trainers who have shown kindness and care in raising their seed Pokemon. And this is probably the most interesting bit about the whole thing. So obviously in your Pokemon game, you battle things, you do things, but this seems a little bit different. So it says, the seed Pokemon. At the heart of the story lies a unique seed Pokemon, a small baby-like creature that players encounter at the beginning of their adventure. In a sunny coastal resort area, though it is considered rare, it is not mythical. Locals claim to see it occasionally, yet nobody has ever witnessed its evolution. Legends say that this Pokemon begins to evolve only when brought to the islands where the legendary Storm and Wave dwell. Its evolution is described as having infinite possible forms, each shaped by how trainers train, bond with, and nurture it through their journey. So this is a quote, don't know where the quote's from, but this Pokemon is a rare Pokemon that lives only on this island. It seems that when it evolves, flowers bloom, but no one has ever seen it. However, according to legend, it's said to have an infinite form, end quote. Gameplay-wise, the seed Pokemon serves as the key to progression. Players must raise it to a certain level to unlock access to the island where the main legendary Pokemon resides. The island itself is procedurally generated, its environment changing based on how developed and emotionally bonded with the seed Pokemon is. The evolution of the seed Pokemon is also procedurally generated, featuring unique floral and fractal patterns, meaning every player's final form will be completely unique. This system ties directly into the game's overreaching themes of growth, harmony, and the balance between humanity and nature, reinforcing the emotional and personal connection at the heart of Pokemon Wind and Wave. And unfortunately, like, the pictures are no longer displayed, so I'm not able to see them. But yeah, the whole idea of that seed Pokemon, Josh, very different, because it could very much be like Generation 10. You go and verse 8 gym leaders, and you get to choose a little fox or a little man named Tim, who's a grass type, and you go on your adventure. And it could just be like a very thing, but this sounds like a very different mechanic. I don't know whether this seed Pokemon is kind of like your ride Pokemon in Scarlet and Violet, or it is like a starter. I think it'd be very interesting to have like the starters have like this really important role, but yeah, it seems like it is just like the one Pokemon, which is interesting. But procedurally generated, both the evolution and the actual world itself. I don't know how I feel about that, because I like, Pokemon regions being specifically like designed, and places in the Pokemon world. Sort of each generation expands our sort of knowledge of the Pokemon world, and a new place we can go to. So how they'll just have like it's been procedurally generated, I guess it would just be like you go into it's like some magic forest kind of situation where as you're going around, like vines and all that. I don't know. I don't know how they'll do it, but very interesting, just gameplay mechanics anyway.
It's different. I appreciate that, but yeah, I am slightly worried that like you said, the feel and the vibes of it will be a bit different, maybe a bit more bland and constant, not variation, not very like the variation might not be as nuanced as what you got in traditional Pokemon games from each region. So I don't know, but yeah, it's Switch 2 exclusive. Is that right? Is that what the leaks say? I'm not sure.
I think I did read
'Cause I
that.
hope it is. I
Yeah.
hope it is, because that means there's a lot more focus on the new tech and hardware as well, and um, yeah, they might be able to do some really cool things with these ideas, and flesh them out a lot more.
Yeah, so just on that point, Josh, just skipping down a little bit, this paragraph. The game is said to be the first to use the brand new Pokemon Engine X, what I mentioned earlier, a next generation engine designed specifically for the series. Early initial demos mentioned in the leak documentation suggest major visual improvements, including smoother animations, enhanced lighting, and more natural environment interactions. So yeah, I would believe that it would be a Switch 2 game, but it's also hard to imagine them next year letting go of Switch. Like the install base for Switch, obviously freaking massive.
Yeah, it's huge.
It's hard to believe that they'll let that go, but yeah, we'll see.
We will. Man, yeah. It's exciting, but also, yeah. There's going to be at least, I saw reports in the Bloomberg article the other day that they're expecting to make 25 million Switch 2s in the first year up to March. They're trying to stockpile, it seems, before this generation comes in November, October next year. So, um, you know, if it's, the jumping ship to the new Switch 2 already, they want to make sure they've got a lot of um, consoles ready for when it does launch later next year.
Yeah, I'd feel safe if I was Game Freak. Like, yeah, there's going to be plenty of Switch 2s out there. Obviously, not as many as the original Switch, but yeah, they'll sell enough still, especially over time. Like over the next 3-4 years, even like these games are just going to keep selling. They'll be evergreen games for the most part. So I wouldn't be too worried on their behalf. But with Generation 10, like we talked about, I guess stuff we had issues with just with Pokemon Legends ZA. But honestly, Legends ZA isn't the witness test of what Game Freak are capable of and what they want to push forward in the future. It will be Generation 10, like with a brand new engine, Switch to exclusive, all of this. I think that'll be a sign of what to expect over the course of Switch 2. Just mainly just a sign of just how motivated they are to, want to make a good looking game, and from the higher ups, like what they want to do. I think that's the main part of it. Like if it is, so yeah, I'll be very keenly watching the announcement of this next year just to see how it all goes. Because yeah, the gameplay mechanics sound very interesting, very different. Whether it'll be fun, be kind of cool. But the idea of like you and I just having a game chat, sharing our screens about what the hell, what did you do to the poor little man? He's got flowers coming out of his guts. How's he go to the toilet? He looks constipated. He's got flowers just blooming out of his butt cheeks. And mine's like got a nice little haircut and looking nice and fine because I've been babying the
Looking
thing.
after it.
I've just been babying it, but you've been like actually out there training it. So yours is much stronger. Like
Hardened, yeah.
Hardened warrior.
Yeah, see if there is variability in terms of how you do interact and use the Pokemon.
Yeah. And whether that mechanic will go on to like some other Pokemon too. That could be pretty cool. What else for Generation 10? Anything that I'm missing? Let me just read this. I'm literally reading this as we go. So one of the most exciting aspects is that all Pokemon in the game would appear to be interactable. Many are rideable, bringing back and expanding on the traversal mechanics seen in Pokemon Legends Arceus. This suggests a more open and dynamic world where players can freely explore land, air, and sea using Pokemon partners. Interestingly, Pokemon Wind and Wave seem to feature a non-linear progression structure. Once the player gains access to travel across the ocean, they can challenge the final boss immediately. If successful, the player can even see the game's credits early, though it's believed that there will be an extensive post-game content to discover afterwards. The features collectively hint at more player-driven adventure, emphasizing exploration, freedom, and emotional storytelling, marking what could be the most ambitious leap yet for the Pokemon series. So yes, in the meantime, the optimism just from reading that, it can be high, it can be low. I choose to have it in the middle. That sounds good to me. Brand new engine, Switch 2, different, just an idea of like just an open world game. Sounds great to me. So I'm looking forward to hearing about it whenever that happens.
Yeah. And I'm hoping it's Switch 2 exclusive. I hope that, because they've tempered the idea of Generation 8 and 9 with the open area, open world. And they just didn't have I don't know. I think the consoles weren't powerful enough with their limited budget to get what people really wanted. So this might be where we finally get to start to seeing it. We're seeing some of that here with Legends ZA, but maybe hopefully more here with the next Gen 10.
Fingers crossed. Yeah. I just really hope to some point like Nintendo just steps in and just like, look, like, love your money you're bringing in, but you are like our holiday game most years. Can you not embarrass us? Can you not make our support team work overtime when Scarlet Violet comes out? People are like, what the fuck is this?
Yep.
What's
going on?
Was my 5-year-old's game not working, but I spent freaking $80 on?
Yeah.
Or my 30-year-old husband's game not working. Chantel ringing up.
Why is my husband complaining about Windows in games so much lately? It's weird.
Yeah, it's crazy. My husband won't shut the fuck up about these dumb looking windows.
Shut the hell up. Yeah.
Yep. I'll tell you what, Josh. What Sword and Shield, when that came out, 2019. What? 6 years ago, we were bitching about the trees. Now it's the windows. What next?
Yep.
Generation 10.
Oh, there'll be something.
Of course.
Don't worry, there'll be something.
Of course there will be. What will Game Freak model horrendously in Generation 10, where we look at it and go, the hell is that?
Yep.
There'll be a big boulder in the middle of the desert. Be like, that ain't a boulder. That's not a boulder. I don't believe it. Anyway, this is a cancelled project. Pokemon Legends. Skip the Yes, a cancelled project in the Pokemon Legends series. Ho-Oh and Lugia. So this was a game that was based in the Johto region. And obviously a Legends game in the Johto region could be really cool. But reading from PokeOS, before development shifted to Pokemon Legends ZA, Game Freak internally plans to set the second entry in the Legends series in Johto. The project initially referred to as Pokemon Legends Ho-Oh and Lugia. Oh, the two games, were they? Pokemon Legends Ho-Oh and Pokemon Legends Lugia was conceived as a dual version release to celebrate the 25th anniversary of Pokemon Gold and Silver in 2024. Titled Pokemon Tales of Then and Now, the game was envisioned as a historical episode exploring the origins of Pokemon trainers set in the time before the concept of trainers even existed. The protagonist, a character who had fallen through time, would command Pokemon directly in order to receive 3 legendary creatures tied to Johto's lore. One of the key story locations was the burned tower, depicted from the original form before the Great Fire that destroyed it 150 years ago. In this era, it was set to have been a 9-story tower, identical in the structure to the Bell Tower, hinting at a deep mythological connections between the two. Ultimately, the concept was reworked into what became Pokemon Legends ZA, with the setting shifting from Johto to Kalos, making a new direction for the series. So I don't know. That sounds really cool. I hope they still do a a game in Johto region because ancient Johto, really cool. And I can't see it now, but they did have concept art up before Pokemon Company and Game Freak went around and took it all down. But showed like an ancient Johto region with like the burnt tower and that in the background. It's like that looks like a really cool idea, but not to be. Don't know. What do you think?
I just wanted Johto. I just love Johto so much, so I just wanted this to be real. So I'm a bit annoyed that it's not. And then a dual release, 25th anniversary. So that would have been this year originally. Is that
Last year,
yeah
24.
Sorry, 99. Yep. So um yep, yep. And then it seems like the next one's not going to go back to it at all. So it's just an idea that's come off the shelf and put back, and not happening at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's so much cool lore in Johto as well. Just I don't know, just and then the whole Kyoto setting, like I just love all of it. And yeah. So I'm kind of bummed that this doesn't exist.
Yeah, because the actual like Johto region itself, it's definitely the most ancient feeling, I guess, region.
Yeah.
With like a lot of lore and things to back it up.
Really well. Would have fit really well with the Legends vibe.
Yeah. It is. I think that's the most interesting thing just going to ZA now is that like this game is actually a few years after X and Y and it's definitely not in the past because it sort of seemed like with the Legends name and what we were doing in Arceus, it sort of seemed like it was like exploring like ancient times, but obviously it's just whatever you want it to be. But yeah, I haven't.
Well, I mean, yeah, we haven't finished the game yet.
I was going to say that too.
I feel like there might be something to it. So yeah, I might know a bit more next week.
We will. But Pokemon Legends 3 in brackets Galar, and its project codenamed Ringo is being developed by GameFreak's prototype development division as a candidate for the next Pokemon Legends title. It takes place in Galar 1,000 years before the modern era, long before the invention of Pokeballs. Set in an ancient civilization where humans and Pokemon coexist without formal trainers, players will befriend Pokemon in the wild, forming groups of allies to battle against enormous Dynamax Pokemon. The game's central theme is AI / physics. Focusing on, I'm trying to, what the fuck does that even mean? Focusing on a Pokemon behavior, group dynamics, and large-scale environmental interactions. Players explore Galar's primeval landscapes, vast untouched territories shaped by nature, and use their Pokemon's unique abilities to survive and rebuild society. The key objective in the story is to create the very first Gigantamax Pokeball using local materials and ancient crafting techniques. Concept art shows early prototypes of sealing stones and primitive containment devices forged by hand, hinting at how Pokeball technology began. And Pokemon Legends Galar is currently targeted the release for 2027 or later. And one of the pictures I saw for this would actually kind of really sold the idea for me personally is like had the player running around a field and like there was a Gigantamax Pokemon in the background, and it just like that is a really cool idea for like the more action version of the series where like you have like this huge colossal Pokemon, and I don't know what the gameplay mechanic is like of actually battling it, but like the spectacle of it, really kind of cool idea. So if they're able to make that work, and this game is still in development, okay, this could be cancelled too, because this information is at least a year old from I guess what we can tell. But yeah, I like the idea of it anyway. I personally I really like the Galar region based on the UK. I quite like Sword and Shield, even though it's got so many problems, and the story towards the end, I don't know. I think the writers got sacked and some kid finished it for him. I don't know what the fuck happened at the end of that game, but I did love it though, the game. So I'd like to go. I'll be quite happy to go to the Galar region. But yeah, do you feel any way about it being in Galar, or just a bit salty that it's not Johto, or?
Yeah, I think Johto definitely would have piqued my interest more. But Gala's, yeah, a cool region to go back to because like, yeah, I know we've done Sinnoh twice now recently, last few years, and so they're never going to do that. Kanto's been done numerous times over the years. Um, weren't too far. Holland would have been interesting. It's been a few years since that remake. And then Gen 5 and 7, Innova isn't getting a game made anytime soon from the leaks I saw, so it could have been a
Yeah,
good Legends game then, from the sounds of it. Yeah, I think, yeah, I'm with you with the Gigantamax. I imagine you're in a big like field of sheep, and then just a massive like bloody freaking Pikachu or something, or just some sort of random Pokemon, just like absolutely massive in the field. You can see it from a distance or something, and you sort of can zone in on it and find your ways to battle it. So, um, I feel will be similar in premise to what ZA does with the Mega Evolutions potentially in the alphas. There might be a bit of stuff to do there, but if this Legends game is fully open world, you get some beautiful terrain if you base it on the UK and make that all really nice and big, and um, could be really cool. Could be really cool. Use like trains to get around, or you could, yeah, like a lot of utilize all the different seasons of the UK. There's some fun, cool things they could do to it, and I hope they do.
yeah. So 2027, it is pretty close, really. So,
I feel, yeah, I
so
feel like I'm add a year to all these except for Gen 10 maybe next year.
yeah,
I feel
I
like
agree. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Because there's no way, especially now. Like, yeah, ZA just came out. I couldn't imagine. Well,
No,
I could,
it's not
but
happening in 27.
saying that I couldn't expect a Pokemon game to come out so quick,
Yeah,
that's a silly thing to say.
even
But
2 years, even 2029. If but 28 probably sounds right.
yeah. All right, so we've got two more games left, and this is a big one. So the multi-region online remake. So codenamed Seed, this ambitious project has been developed by GameFreak's experimental development division as a next-generation online Pokemon game prototype, set in a massive interconnected world that bridges Kanto, Johto, Hoenn, Sinnoh, and Kitakami. Don't know where Kitakami. Oh, is that in the Scarlet and Violet DLC? Is that Kitakami? Can't remember. Anyway,
Not sure. Yeah.
Project Seed aims to fulfill a long-standing fan dream in a multi-region Pokemon game where players can freely travel across the regions and explore them seamlessly. The game's concept emphasizes online multiplayer exploration, allowing multiple players to coexist and interact in real time within a living, shared Pokemon world. Players will traverse expansive landscapes inspired by the real geography of Japan, from Hoenn's southern seas to Sinnoh's northern mountains, connected through a vast new region that ties them all together. Okay, so it's a new region. Kitakami, by the sounds of it. Described as a prototype for the next generation online Pokemon game experience, Project Seed could represent the franchise's first true step towards an MMO-style evolution, combining exploration, social interaction, and open-world freedom across multiple regions. So yeah, sign me up for this. I'll sit down and I'll play some Pokemon with Josh and run around and catch things and battle and all of that. Just give me that. Let me do it.
Oh, this could be huge if they do it well, and be one of those games that just sticks with the Switch 2, whatever it's on for its whole generation. It could be absolutely massive.
So I am not a Pokemon shareholder,
Absolutely.
but before this comes out, I feel like I need to be.
But buy some stock in Nintendo. Yep.
Yeah, that might have to be on the cards. Because yeah, this make a bit of cash. Because like the Pokemon fans on like just Power World, its whole success story is purely because people on PC just been like, I just want a freaking Pokemon game. But looks alright and it's a bit different, and that just ends up selling 20 million copies in early access. So it's like if Pokemon could just do it and do a good job at it, like it might literally like be $30 or $40 million like copies in like 2 months. type of thing. Like it could be just absolutely crazy, but
Huge. Yep.
we'll see. And last, but certainly least, I guess, because it's so far away. Generation 11. I don't want to think about this just yet, but here we are. Let's read what they got here. So, codenamed Project 2030, this initiative marks the beginning of development for Pokemon Generation 11, which is currently being prototyped along the ongoing production of Pokemon Gaia, sorry, which is Generation 10. According to internal GameFreak documentation, Generation 11 is planned to release in 2030 and is described as the next major numbered entry in the mainline Pokemon series. Development has been handled by a joint team comprised of members from Research and Development Division and the Concept and Visual Studio, indicating a strong focus on both technology innovation and artistic direction. The team formation for Project 2030 began this physical year, with many key staff working across both Generation 10 and 11 simultaneously, signaling early stages of next major leap for Pokemon franchise. So, yeah, probably nothing there. Just people around a table being like, "Oh, that'd be bloody cool if you could like pat the Pokemon, like you pat them all, right?
Yeah.
Pat them all."
Write it on the serviette, and that's our plan so far. That's so far away.
So yeah, even 2030, like yeah, I guess that is lined up. Yeah, next year's 2026. So, yeah, I guess that follows that rubric. But yeah, so they're the games that we got a little bit of a glimpse at, whether they're real or actually coming out or delayed or whatever have you. Interesting, just to sort of hypothesize. Can't get in. My mouth is so dry after all that talking, but yeah, it's just fun to sort of shoot the shit and see what that's all about. But yeah, anything in there that gets you excited? I think Generation 10's probably the big one. It's like next year, hopefully going to be, I guess, the big one that changes some things up, and obviously get the new Pokemon and all that stuff too. But yeah, what are you thinking?
I think the region location's cool. I heard Murmurings Australia is going to be potentially the one, so I'm still waiting for Australia to be the one. I hope
that'd be so
we get
special when that
around to
happens. Why not?
eventually. Yeah, so I think sooner or later that happens, and because it's so, we've got all sorts of sort of climates here in Australia, so I think it could work really well. Basing it on that, I would love that to happen. So, but yeah, the one next year, it's going to be a 4-year break between generations, which was needed. The extra year is just going to help, I feel, and seems pretty ambitious with the things you mentioned there, Drew. So I'm excited for it, and well, fine and fair. Pokemon Presents. They'll announce it that day, and we'll know more details about it when that happens.
We will. I mean, we'll know about it pretty soon, really. Like, we're gonna blink. It's gonna be 2026. It'll be Pokemon Day, I dare say. We'll get it there. It's Dolphin Pants mentioned in the chat, and yes, it very much is. Next year is the 30th anniversary for Pokemon, so yeah, it's gonna be gonna be a big one. I guess there'll be stuff to buy and stuff to look at.
Always stuff to buy, but there'll be 30th anniversary stuff to buy.
Trading card stuff and oh god.
Yeah.
It was
huge.
Was it the 20th? It must have been the 25th. They did like all the collaborations with different artists, and they had like a whole album of like different artists doing Pokemon themed songs. And Post Malone did a really good one. Post Malone's was really good. The other one, like Katy Perry did one, and it was just like very Pikachu inspired music video, but I didn't really hear anything Pokemon in it. Because Post Malone's song, he had like sampling of actual Pokemon music and sound effects in it, which made it feel like Pokemon. Whereas like the others were just like, yeah, I'm electric. It's like, yeah, we get it. You're a Pikachu, but yeah.
Post went a bit more into it. Okay, cool.
Yeah, but
nice.
There's some other things that popped up as well. I guess the more interesting thing is just Junichi Masuda and Shigeru Omori reportedly being ousted from directing Pokemon games. This was interesting. I don't know what this is from, whether it's emails or documentation. I don't know, but I guess I can read the article. I just find it. Well, I'll read I read Centro Leaks just dot points. I think that's probably the easiest thing. But I read through this article last night. I just thought it was interesting. So just those that don't know, just a bit of a refresh for people who don't know who Junichi Masuda was. He was the composer originally for Pokemon Red and Blue, Gold and Silver, and he took over as the director for the Pokemon games from Ruby and Sapphire up to Pokemon Black and White. So, you know, that's kind of like the golden era of Pokemon for a lot of people our age. And then he sort of gave over the reins after that to Omori, who he went on to do. His first directing role was Alpha Sapphire and Omega Ruby, and then they did like not a co-directing. I think Junichi was more in the sort of producer role for Sword and Shield. But it seems like they've both been ousted for whatever reason. But just the leaks here. So Junichi Masuda was banned from directing Pokemon games and referred to as the era of Masuda's absolute dominance. Masuda alone handled development, planning, personal decisions, public relations, and game design. Up through Black and White, it was the era where no one could oppose him. However, this led to a concentration of power, and the organization began to run out of control. In personal matters, unnecessary people and favorites emerged. The game's content shifted from being focused on fun to being driven by PR. They could no longer do proper game design. Various problems arose during development of Pokemon X and Y. Masuda got into an argument with Sugimori, who's the founder of Pokemon, resulting in a decision that he would no longer be allowed to direct from then on. So yeah, there's just the dot points, but just reading through the article, it was just sort of interesting, just hearing people just like, just basically shift this guy on. So Junichi Masuda, he's now a creative fellow at the Pokemon Company. So he still works for Pokemon. He's got like a similar role to, I guess, what Miyamoto does at Nintendo, where like, oh look, we respect what you did here, but you'll no longer be touching these games. It's kind of, it's sad because I think like we can all agree that just Pokemon is just like has amazing music, just absolutely amazing music, and just everything from like the feel and the atmosphere and everything. Like a lot of it comes from the music of like the battles and just the routes and everything for all those years. He did that. So I've got a lot of respect for, I guess, Masuda. But yeah, I guess everyone sort of does get to the point where it's like my way or the highway, and a lot of like the young blood coming in, or people that have, just kind of sick of it.
There's internal politics everywhere you work, Drew, and there's some people who laugh it up, and others who avoid it at all costs. So he obviously didn't mind it, but he paid the price.
And it's interesting on like Omori's turn. So I'm just going to read this from the article. It says, fast forward to the 2020s, it seems the history repeated itself. Shigeru Omori, who directed Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, Sun and Moon, and Sword and Shield, reportedly inherited the same unchecked power structure. Leaked 2021 documents described Omori as still serving both Division Chief 2 and Director, warning that the setup risked centralizing authority and running out of control, eerily similar to the language Masuda's own downfall. And by 2024, the documents labeled him as a former director of Division 2, confirming that even Omori was eventually removed from the top seat. I actually don't know who the director of Scarlet and Violet and ZA are, to be honest. I haven't looked into it at all.
That into it to know.
So yeah, I just bring this up because it's just very interesting. We don't get to see anything within GameFreak, so it's just kind of interesting.
It's
to see
fascinating,
this.
isn't it? It's all behind closed doors, all secretive. They don't disclose any of this stuff. Nintendo's the same, and yeah, to get a bit of a taste for it, it's like, yep. I mean, they're just like any other place. This happens everywhere, and
Yeah.
there's always issues with people and staff, and yeah, stuff like this does happen.
So I'm sure there's much more of it's leaked, but yeah, I don't know. That they're the main stories I wanted to bring up was like the budgets, the internal politics, and obviously the games themselves. But yeah, it's just very interesting. I feel bad for Game Freak, but I guess none of us are immune to being interested in a bit of drama and a bit of a bit of information. I guess we shouldn't be laying our eyes on, especially as fans, where we're starved for it as it is. So yeah, yeah.
That's it.
Anything else you want to say about the leaks?
Yeah, yeah, very interesting. Still a shame slightly that it's out there. But yeah, I think hopefully they've stopped more of it coming out. Nintendo doing this stuff,
Yeah,
now and getting them to cease and desist. We've had enough little snippets now, and we'll wait for the real stuff. I feel that's always exciting when it happens that way.
yeah. So yeah, I guess just to put a bow on it, yeah, Pokemon Company has come out with their cease and desist and requests to remove pictures and information. So yeah, they seem worried about it, so it kind of confirms it a little bit.
Yeah, that's right. It confirms it's real for sure.
Yeah. All right, Josh. Well, let's start wrapping things up, but just to I guess figure some things out. Have you played anything else apart from Pokemon? I haven't either, but now think about it. I haven't. We missed the show last week just because I was at PAX, and I guess I haven't talked about PAX all that much. But yeah, don't know. Should I talk about PAX, Josh? Or should I talk about PAX?
Yeah. What was Nintendo's presence like at PAX? What were they doing?
Yeah, Nintendo's booth was flat out. It was good to see them there because, as we know, Josh, they were not there last year. So it was good.
Yes.
It's always nice just to have them there because it's like, I like the vibe Nintendo put out. So it's always good to see, I guess, just Nintendo fans in the flesh. Who's drawn to these games, want to play the demos, all of that. Because, whether it's us on the podcast or you see people excited about it or whinging about it or whatever on social media, it's just nice to see it in person. So I always love like the Nintendo booth because it's full of kids, it's full of big man babies like us. It's just such a diverse group of people that really enjoy their game. So it's always nice to see. But they had some demos for Hyrule Warriors. They had demos for Pokemon Legends EA, Kirby Air Riders, and some other third-party games that were behind like the MA in the MA section behind the walls.
Yep.
And it was funny because like I was just as PAX was closing on the last day, I was talking to one of the ladies who was doing the Persona 3 Reload demo. I was like, so why do you put these games behind like the wall? Like it seems like it's such a Nintendo thing to do, not wanting, kids to see Borderlands 4 with a gun running on Switch or something like that. But she said that it's legally games that are MA plus, 15 plus, they have to be locked behind like a wall. I'm like, really?
Oh, really?
And
there you go.
I found that so interesting because I remember years ago at PAX, Ubisoft and like all these companies had booths, and Ubisoft had none of their games behind a booth. They had I remember Assassin's Creed Syndicate, like just out in the open and things like that. Maybe Assassin's Creed Syndicate isn't MA plus. It's probably not now I think about it. But yeah, I remember I didn't expect that to be the thing, but apparently that's the case. So I got to play.
There you go.
I got to play a few games in there. They had Elden Ring playing on Switch 2 in handheld mode. So I had to go at that. I was just dropped into Elden Ring. I had no idea what weapon or what class or what character or where I was or what the enemy was. I had no idea. So I was just playing it to check the performance. We heard bad things about it.
Yeah.
And Um, it doesn't seem to run that well, but also not bad enough where if you really want to play it, it's something you can't adjust to. Maybe if you've been playing on like a high powered platform used to 60 or more frames, then it's going to be tough to maybe go down to the handheld mode on Switch 2. But it seems like it looks good, but the frame rate, it felt like it was like a 27 frame rate type of game. It didn't feel like a smooth 30. It felt like a bit choppy, but
yeah.
And I'll probably say the same for Borderlands 4 as well. I thought it looked fine, but a first-person game running at 30, like it's not that appealing to me, unfortunately. But that was on the TV. Maybe in handheld, it's fine. If you want to play handheld mode, it's probably not too bad. And I think that game does support cross-save as well, so that might be a good option if you want to just buy $100 game again. And you got your handheld version. Maybe that's the go for you, especially since it's not optimized very well at all on PC. So, yeah, maybe it's optimized on Switch 2 when it comes out. I don't know. Fingers crossed. Persona 3 Reload looks good on Switch 2. I think that's at 30 frames as well. But, it looks good. It's a little bit disappointing because I think on Steam Deck, I've got that running at 60. So I really don't see the reason on Switch 2 why it's not 60 as well. But that is what it is. It looks good. Perfect place to play that type of game. I think the only Nintendo game I actually played was Horror Warriors. I was about to say Age of Calamity. Was Age of Imprisonment. That's the only Nintendo game I played. I lined up for Kirby. It was way too long, so I gave up. Pokemon was out, in less than a week, so I didn't play that. And I'm glad that I didn't, because I wouldn't have even got to talk about my impressions anyway, because I didn't do a show last week. But Horror Warrior is great. It looks fantastic. It runs well. It's a lot of fun to play. Just if you've played the other ones, you'll know what to expect. A lot of button combinations, lots of different attacks, swapping characters. The demo I had played was in the underground. You get to play Zelda and some other characters. And I think what I really like is just like the finishing moves, how you can do that. And it's like this this little cutscene plays, and it just looks so good. I cannot wait to go into this world and get some of the story when Zelda goes back in time. So really looking forward to that. But yeah, I feel like one of the bigger disappointments with Nintendo, and Josh can echo this because I was going to pick him up something at my Nintendo store, but all they had for sale was just like Nintendo Switch 2 and Nintendo Switch 2 games and a couple of accessories. Because in previous years they had like all their My Nintendo merch. You get plushies and t-shirts, jumpers, all of that. But yeah, none of that this year, just the main show itself. And if you bought something, you could get 4 posters. But both Josh and I, we literally had everything. We had all the first party games. Got the console, the carry case, camera, pro controller. We've
all the accessories
already shelled out, so I couldn't get my posters.
Yep.
It is.
I would have bought something from the My Nintendo store if they just had some other t-shirts and plushes and things. There's definitely things I don't have in that range. So yeah, that's a bit disappointing because 2 years ago was great. The year that there was Tears of the Kingdom merch a few months after that game came out, and they had a really good selection of things. So I wonder why they did that this year. They had Nintendo Live last year, and they had a big, amazing store as well. So don't know. Seems a bit of a shame.
Yeah, it would be a really interesting question. Like, I could have actually asked a couple of the people there, I guess, but
yeah, that would have been good to know. Yeah, why that happened.
I mean, like, just the logistics of it. Is it like, all right, we actually want to focus on selling Switch 2 here to actually get systems out there here in Australia? Like, it's a good opportunity to do that. Not to take the focus off of that and just sell t-shirts. But yeah, I'd imagine it'd be an amazing moneymaker for them as well. So also, I also don't understand. So I don't know. But yeah, I spent I guess the rest of my time did some. I played the Digimon card game a little bit. I went around all the PC sort of stalls and um, did I buy anything? I don't think I bought anything. I got my monitor and a few things before PAX. I didn't actually have to do any of that, but yeah, went around the PC sort of stalls, checked them out. The indie games, a lot of great indie games. Added plenty to my wish list, and I bought a couple there as well with games that are already out. Um, so yeah, I'll talk about them when I actually played them a little bit more. Because I got the demos and that downloaded, and I played a few in the motel room those nights. Probably one of the most exciting things I actually got to, well, maybe not exciting, but things that I wanted to do there was actually like give the Legion Go 2 a bit of a test drive. New, I guess the second Legion Go. It's a PC gaming handheld, which is very much like the Switch, where the sides come off, much like Joy-Cons, and it's got like a tabletop mode, very much similar to Switch, but it's just a much bigger, much thicker, much more PC version of the Switch too. And it's a very expensive handheld. It's like $2,000 here, which is absolutely crazy. But I wanted to give it a go because I'm like, it's kind of exactly what I want from one of these things, especially if I put Steam OS on it. And, it can be like, it basically be my laptop. Like I take those controllers off, it can easily just slot into my bag and I can put it up and I can use a little keyboard. So I was like kind of considering it just as like my little portable Windows/Steam machine. But obviously at that type of price, I need to give it a go beforehand. But went to the Lenovo booth and I picked it up and just straight away I'm like, it's a very big handheld. It's 8.8 inches on the screen. And I think the actual system itself with the controllers, it almost weighs a kilo. Like it's like 900 and something grams. Like I'm like
heavy.
I'm like, that sounds awful. Look, but honestly, I picked it up. I'm like, whoa, it feels really light. I don't know how. And so I played it at the demo station, locked to the actual demo. Played they had a Wolong Dynasty or whatever what's that monkey game called? Anyway,
Wukong, whatever.
Wukong, that's the one. They had that. I had no idea what I was doing. I was just mashing buttons. I'm like, oh, like it feels light. It looks good. Whatever. But then I noticed they had a little chair and you could play one just unmounted and you could just play it on your lap just like you would at home or whatever. So I sat in there for like 50 minutes just playing it, and I had a great time. I played some like Forza Horizon. They actually had a Telia Riser 3 downloaded onto it. I'm like, oh wow, that's a very Drew game to try out on this thing because I will be playing games like this, like JRPGs.
Yeah.
So yeah, I tried a good variety of games, and I honestly feel like I'll play it much like I play the Switch or Switch 2. Like have it in handheld mode, do it that way. But if I feel like laying down or something, take the Joy-Cons off, put the kickstand out, just put it on my chest, and play it like that, whether it's laying down on the couch or in bed. So yeah, I think the biggest thing for me is just like the OLED screen looks great. It's not too, I was gonna say it's not too loud, but PAX itself is very loud. But I was putting like my ear up to the fan, see if it sounds whiny or if it would annoy me, and that's a little bit harder to test. But I couldn't really hear any of that. So I came away being pretty impressed with it. So it's gonna be one of those things I would like to save up for. Like it'll be like it'll basically be my laptop, because that's what's good about that. Like the Xbox ROG Ally, like it is just like a massive handheld with handles on it. And I was like, all right, let's, like, if I go away and I still want to do the podcast, it'll be like my little laptop and I'll just prop it up and have like a little webcam and a little plug-in USB microphone. I can podcast with Josh. Whereas like on the ROG Ally, it'd be like, be a lot more awkward, for example. So,
Okay.
yeah. So yeah, I would like to get one. I think it's, just it not being actually too heavy and versatile and all that is, I was very impressed with it. So I would like to get one.
Yeah. Are these going to be available online or in store? And like, do these sell a lot? Like, how niche are these still these days? It seems like it's still pretty
Yeah,
like
Well, I mean, at that price, Josh,
goal.
very niche. Yes,
Yeah,
definitely. Like this is
definitely.
it's for the enthusiasts, and I am a handheld enthusiast. I don't know if I have to say that to make that obvious. I think anybody that listens to this knows that I am a handheld enthusiast. That's why I love my Switch so much, and yeah, I like. I've been talking about these Android handhelds that I've been really enjoying. My AYN Thor is shipped as well. My little, I guess 3DS like Android device, which I'm really looking forward to. That's on its way, coming from China. So look, I love my handhelds. So yeah, but yeah, they're still very niche for sure. Absolutely. Like they've both the ROG Ally and the Legion Go too. They've both sold out. Like if I ordered one now, I wouldn't get it till November. Um, and like, so did you sell out? I feel like you've just made like 1,000 of them because like you look at the economic situation at the moment. It's like probably not the time to be, selling one of these things like so goddamn expensive. And even me, where I was like, I've been keen for this thing since CES earlier this year when it got announced. But seeing that price, I'm like, yeah, I'll slowly put some money aside for it. I was talking to one of the Lenovo reps, and it was funny because he's like, yeah, man, I put SteamOS on mine and it's so much better. But here, when we're showcasing it at our booth, we can't show it without Windows because Microsoft have contributed to the development of the system. And I thought that was very interesting, just with the fact that like you got the ROG Ally with Xbox branding all over it, and the new Xbox experience that's makes Windows a little bit less of a hassle, even though it is still very much a hassle. It was just interesting to see Microsoft, they seem to have their thumb in all these pies, just trying to really kickstart this market, because if it works for them, it's going to be a massive market for them, and SteamOS is doing a better job and has beaten them to the market. So yeah, it's a very interesting space within like the handheld gaming, I guess, competition, because you and I, Josh, we cover Nintendo each week. We talk about Nintendo. We play Nintendo, and they really don't really have any competition. Their success is driven purely by them. Do they have a lot of games people want to play? Yes, they'll sell systems because people are getting them for different reasons than a PC or a PlayStation or an Xbox. But then there's this other bloodbath where all of these different companies are just making these handhelds where it's like, oh, look, this one has this much power, it's this much price. This one has, heap of power and it's very expensive. And it's just, it's a very interesting sort of space just to follow and keep an eye on.
I mean, it's obviously more and more prevalent and getting bigger and bigger, and we're hearing stuff about Sony potentially come back into it, and this is Xbox's answer here. So like, it's only going to get more and more competitive. I say that Nintendo's sort of outselling everyone, so it seems like it's less competitive. I don't know, like it should get more competitive, but Nintendo just has its way of finding that handheld gamer. It's as it really always has. Their handhelds are sold really well, and their consoles have been the ones that tend to sort of fluctuate a bit more.
Yeah, I'm going to be really interested to see how, PlayStation handled their handheld. Just, I assume it's just going to be a portable version of their PlayStation 6. That's what all the rumors have indicated. So, like, they will have the games. It won't be a PlayStation Vita situation where, it's just like the first party teams like, no, we're not going to do that. We're not going to make games for that. Like, so yeah, it'll be cool. I'm the more handhelds, the better. Not too many though. I can't get them all, but I get a lot of them.
Drew, you'll try, mate. You'll have a go. Don't worry.
Yeah, have a go.
Yeah,
have a crack, mate.
You'll have a go.
Yeah.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. No. Yeah. So yes.
But yeah, PAX overall. What did you think?
I thought it was good. Yeah, I thought it was good. I was missing my good mate Josh though. Old Joshy boy didn't come this year, so
it's not the same without me, is it?
It's not the same without Josh. I got used to him there over the last few years.
Next year I will be there.
I was just having to
Yep.
talk to other chumps. Not this chump. Other chumps.
It's not the same. It's not the same.
No, of course not. Of course not.
No, yeah, very busy year for me with the wedding and honeymoon, and we're seeing Michaela's nephew, early next year in New Zealand. So we've got a few expensive things going on at the moment. So just one thing to sort of help with that, not going, but next year. Saver's already ready and saving. So yeah, be good to go there for a couple of days.
Excellent. Yeah, I look forward to it.
Yeah.
So what adventures happen next year?
Yes.
All right. Let's check out the questions and get out of here. So let me move over to that screen. So of course you can join the Discord, the iDruby Homestead. You can go to the letterbox and you can leave us a little question or a comment or a concern or just anything really. Be a part of the show. So first off, we have a couple of questions from Dolphin Pants. Thank you very much, Dolphin Pants. So Dolphin Pants, his first question is, I just realised that next year is the 40th anniversary for The Legend of Zelda. What would you like to see? What would you like to see, Josh? 40th anniversary for The Legend of Zelda. I think for me, when it comes to Zelda, I like Zelda games. I would like to see a nice little full of love collection. Whether that is like the games we've been asking for the last 7 years with Wind Waker and Twilight Princess, the old, the ports that seem to be coming out every year but never came out, or even just like the old games with like a heap of. I'd love to see like a collection with like behind the scenes, like a behind the scenes documentary. I reckon that'd be fascinating for anything Nintendo, similar to what like the Atari 50 and like the Tetris collections and that do, where it's got like. Yeah, just like information. It's like a museum just about the game. I think that'd be really cool. So that's what I would like to see, because we've gotten posters and books and amiibo and all sorts of things. I would like just to see like a celebration in game form. I think that's the main thing I want. But what about you, Josh?
Yeah, we're not going to get a new 3D mainline game. We're not going to get a new 2D mainline game. I think I would love to see a game remade. I'm sick of Wind Waker, Twilight Princess being the thing. So
Yep.
I don't think it'll be that, but it wouldn't surprise me. But I think Link Between Worlds. I want Link Between Worlds remade or given at least an HD upgrade and some new features added to it, because I want to play that. And it looks really fun. And I'd love to have it on the Switch or Switch 2.
That's a great answer. That is a tremendous game. And if they don't
We're due for a remake.
Are we? Are we due for a remake?
Skyward Sword was the last one.
Yeah, I guess we are. It has been long enough, hasn't it? Don't make me feel old.
Yep.
So,
yeah, we're due.
Has it been over 10 years since Link Between Worlds?
Yeah.
How?
Yep, it's or could they do something with Phantom Hourglass and Spirit Tracks? What do you think? Is that worth it? I don't know if
no, probably not.
I don't know if the effort's going to be there.
Yeah, I think
or not.
I think if you want to play those games, play it on DS, because it's like a great nostalgia trip using the stylus and doing all that. I think just play those games. I do recommend Spirit Tracks. Spirit Tracks is really good. Really good.
You are a fan of Spirit Tracks.
Yeah, it made me fall in love with the pan flute. I love a good pan flute now. Dolphin Pants says in the chat, Lincoln Spirit Tracks, my beloved. I agree. Yeah. God, it's such good music, dude. Like the train music and everything. Oh my god.
Now I know 2 fans of Spirit Tracks. That's good.
That's right. Phantom Hourglass, I could. That game could be burning in a fire, and I'll just watch. Oh god, I hated that game.
Just leave it there.
Yeah, that was my second Zelda game. Phantom Hourglass, and I'm like, I hate this.
Sucks so much.
All right, and Dolphin Pants' second question: in honor of Pokemon ZA, do you have any shiny Pokemon stories? I caught a full odds shiny Magikarp in ZA, and that Mega Shiny Gyarados has come in handy more than a few times. I bet it would. Mega Shiny Gyarados.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any Pokemon shiny stories throughout the years, Josh? Any of it stand out?
I did catch a shiny Magikarp in Legends ZA yesterday. So Snap, and then I've just read something about how if you just keep spawning in the same spot and do it repeatedly in Legend ZA, um, the same Pokemon reappear, but their chances of being a shiny get recalculated. So if you keep doing it for like 10, 15 minutes straight, quick travel to the same spot over and over, anything within like a 50-meter radius will keep spawning, and you'll have a chance of getting shinies through that. So apparently it's quite easy to do. So I'm going to try and do that over the next few days and get some. I feel like I've been very unlucky with shinies over the years. Like I just don't get many. And ones that I have had have been unremarkable Pokemon that I've never really been interested in having in my party. So I don't have any good shiny stories. I want to have one, but I don't.
You've never been a shiny hunter? You haven't put on your shiny hat?
No,
And
no,
been like,
I don't shiny hunt. So yeah.
that's fair enough. I think for me, like a memory I had when I was like a kid, Pokemon Sapphire version. I was in the car. I was coming back from wherever we were with my parents. A bit of a long trip, and I'm like, all right, this trip I'm catching the Reggies in Pokemon Sapphire, and I saved in front of Reggie Steel, and I had like a limited amount of Pokeballs. So when I ran out or I accidentally killed him or something, soft reset, jump back in. And one of the soft resets, I jumped in and I heard like a little shiny thing, but I didn't know whether that's what it was. I'm like, is it shiny? And Reggie Steel, his shiny is like just a very slight green. So in the car on my Game Boy Advance SP, I couldn't see it. I'm like, oh, it might be. Like I really didn't know, but I'm like, I gotta catch this just in case it's shiny. Like I gotta make sure this is the time I get it. So I caught it, and it wasn't until like I got home or in like better lighting where like I went to my party on my PC, went to the summary screen, and then I saw it. I'm like, oh my god, it is shiny. I was like, it was pretty cool. So yeah, like I was actually pretty lucky on my original Sapphire because the odds are like 1 in 6,000 and something. Like it wasn't until X and Y where the shiny really rates were halved. So yeah, it was really hard. So I remember having like a shiny Marill, obviously that Reggie Steel. There are some good memories I have just from like the Game Boy Advance games. I really went in hard with shiny hunting in Pokemon Sword and Shield, doing the Masuda method with like the breeding. So the idea of that is that if you have a Pokemon from both from different regions, then you have a better percentage of that egg being shiny. So the method is that you get like a Ditto from a different language, different part of the world. You put that in, and then all of your Pokemon that you put in are obviously going to be different regions, different regions to that Ditto. So you have a better chance. So I did a lot of just riding around on my bike in the wild area trying to hatch eggs. And a Pokemon that I really wanted, one of my favorite Pokemon, Chandelure. Absolutely love Chandelure. Good Pokemon. Love him very much. One of the shiny one. His flames go red. And he looks cool. So I wanted one of them. So I was hatching a lot of little Litwick. And I was hatching. I was in the thousands. Wasn't happening for me. And I think it was like 2 o'clock at night, listening to a podcast, YouTube video. I don't know what I was doing. I was brain dead. I was just hatching eggs. And there it was. It popped. Finally. And you know what my reaction was? There it is. Thank fuck.
I can stop doing all this nonsense now. God damn.
Yeah, it kind of was.
That's why I've never appealed to me to do it. To see a Pokemon in a slightly different shade, spending hours of a time just to get it.
Yeah. There is something to it which is a lot of fun, but yeah, it's just could be very frustrating and overblown as well.
For me at least.
But yeah, Legends Arceus as well, a lot of fun because like you literally hear the little chime, and you see the little the sparks fly, and you can see it in the overworld, especially like in a mass outbreak as well, where there's like lots of the one Pokemon, and like the one little one is just like in the middle, like a little Budwoo or something. You're looking for a little Budwoo, and there's a shiny one in the middle of them all. So you got to aim your Pokeball and not fuck it up. That's a a lot of fun as well. So yeah, love shiny hunting. I haven't done it in a long time. I didn't do it at all on Scarlet and Violet. I didn't do a lot of things on Scarlet and Violet, apart from beat the story. Like, yeah. I miss those days, Josh. Maybe I can do it in ZA now. Maybe I'll be a shiny hunter once again.
Get into it. It's very, very easy, this new method. So yeah, you might be able to.
Yeah. All right. Last but not least, this isn't the question, but I thought I'll just read it to just laugh at Zach a little bit. He says, Drew, let me just widen that a little bit. I'm not getting the full thing. I assume that's my name. I assume he says Drew, but it's got like the D ... So I assume it says, Drew, better get one more in just to be safe. When the baby comes, the mental load will be too much to have questions. So he's referring to me asking for questions in the Discord. In brackets, as you can see, my own child having caused my own brain to miss words when typing. I don't know. He did edit, so I don't know what he did before. But then, so he said that, and he didn't leave a question. So the mental load is definitely too much for Zach. Zach, we send our thoughts and prayers towards you. So, you've got one at the moment. What about the,
Pretty busy. I can only imagine. So, yeah, and he had PAX and he was at a wedding that evening. So, pretty busy couple of weekends for him.
Absolutely. Yeah. Just jumping around from gaming t-shirts
place to place
to suits to ties back to gaming t-shirts.
Very cool.
Yeah, it was great seeing Zach. Love you very much, Zach. Hope you're going well, mate. But
great bloke.
Oh, would you go that far?
What?
No, I'm joking. I'm just joking.
Great bloke.
You like great bloke.
Of course, 100%.
Wonderful bloke. That's what I would say. But Josh, that brings us to the end of the show. Episode 334. Spent a great time talking with you about all things Pokemon and just Pokemon, I guess. That's pretty much what we talked about.
Pretty much Pokemon. Yeah.
Yeah.
Enjoyed it very much.
Yeah, I did too. I was thinking it'd be good. I need a little segment every now and again just called Drew's Handheld Corner where I just talk about all these other things. Because, I could, I love these things. It's good fun.
Could be a segment, that's for sure. Yeah.
But Josh, it's great talking to you. Thank you very much. Everybody, really do appreciate you joining us for this episode of The House of Mario. It was a lot of fun, as always. Let me bring Josh back into the frame because I had to go to the Discord questions. Now he's back. Look at that. You can see his head. You can't smell him, though. He's on your screen. Can you smell me? Can you taste me? No, you can't taste me. Do you want to taste me? No, you don't. I taste like salt. I've been sweating all day. Anyway, everybody, enough of that. Doors are closed. We'll see you next week. Have a bloody good one. Catch you later. The House of Mario, a Nintendo podcast, is proudly recorded in South Australia. It's hosted and produced by me, Drew Agnew, alongside my co-host, Josh, or JT if you like. Be sure to check out youtube.com/iDrewby, where I share all of my other content and stream the House of Mario live every Monday night at 8:30 p.m. Australian Central Standard Time. Join the Homestead Discord to be a part of our growing community, chat with fellow Nintendo fans, and get involved with the show through our mailbox channel. And don't miss JT's fortnightly Nintendo podcast, Nintendo Maniacs. Each episode features a brand new guest, and if you love the House of Mario, you'll feel right at home there too.